What's going on, you guys? Today I am joined with my good friend Austin Medlin. We're here in Scottsdale, Arizona, about to host a client retreat. So about half my clients, half of his clients, everyone's flying in. They'll get here in about an hour, and today we're just going to kind of hang out, have some fun, and show you how we both built multi-seven-figure coaching businesses in literally like a year. So
yeah, today is my 1 year. By the way, November 14th is the 1 year, the first time I ever collected a payment for closesales.com. So I like that. Squirter.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, cheers to that, buddy. It's
cheers,
great
man.
to see you.
So Austin, tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do? Who do you help? And what got you into it?
Yeah, so I'm an absolute dog when it comes to sales, right? So like people watching this who know you and know how good you are at marketing, because you're two things, right? You're great at marketing and you actually care about the results of your clients. I am that exact person, except I don't know shit about marketing. I know everything there is to know about selling high-ticket coaching programs. And so I have a company, closesales.com, and I help online coaches that have offers between 2 and 100K increase their close rate, raise their prices, handle objections, and scale their companies.
Love that.
Yeah.
And I remember we had our onboarding call when you first joined back in like January.
Yeah, because I was a client of yours.
Yeah. And I remember you telling me like, dude, I just want to close sales. Like, I just want to close deals, sign clients. And like, I don't want to make any content. Like, fuck marketing. I hate it.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's going to change.
Yeah.
And honestly, like,
it did.
It did.
It did.
Oh, dude, I can tell how much fun you're having with it now.
Having a blast,
it's so
dude.
sick. So,
yeah.
Anyways, I just want to say, dude, thank you for being awesome and just helping out people, making a massive impact, because clients that you work with, they just absolutely explode. And
yeah.
So it's really cool to see somebody else that's like right at the same level.
Yeah.
In terms of not only like skills, but also most importantly like integrity.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's like you're exceptional at what you do and you actually care. And that is directly reflected into the results your clients get. Yeah. And so I think it's really cool, because a lot of my clients come to me because they need leads and they have a traffic problem, but then we get them a ton of leads and now they need to close them.
Yeah.
After you close under 60%, they come to you, and then all of a sudden, boom, 7 figures just like that.
Yeah, the clients that have worked with, like I've passed clients to you, you've passed a bunch of clients to me. The people who have worked with both of us, it's disgusting. Like when you look at your wins channel, it's like joint client, like, and it's not that, like, because you got to have both. If you're really good at sales, but you don't have any leads, well, you're effectively making no money. And if you have a shit ton of leads and you're really bad at sales, well, that's a really frustrating spot to be, because now you're on call after call after call after call with good prospects, like genuinely, because dude, you're so good at the marketing that you're helping them get in front of their ideal clients every minute of every day. You're helping them get them on calls, and then that's kind of where you stop. It's like, hey, here's what I do. I help you get the lead flow. Yeah. And you have the sales training and the sales coaching and stuff, but it's like you're not claiming to be like, I'm going to teach you to be the best closer ever. And then when they hire me, that's like the final missing piece, and things just go parabolic. It's disgusting.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how'd you get into sales? How'd you get to the point where a year ago you started closesales.com? What led up to it? And just give us a quick little breakdown and rundown of how that came to be.
Yeah. So I've been in sales my entire life. Like since I was a little kid, I was 3 years old, taking boxes of raisins out of the pantry, going across the street, trying to sell them to the neighbor, right? And they're just like, make a donation, because I did this kid's hustling. Started all kinds of different businesses. Most notably, I did network marketing when I was 18. I built a team of 1,500 people across 10 different countries. I was making like $1,000 a week at 18. Going to Tony Robbins seminars, speaking on stages, like leading people when I was 18. Like I was a drunk college kid, like making $1,000 a week, spending $1,000 a week on alcohol and, partying at the bars and stuff. I'm not even old enough to drink, and I was going off. When I left that, I built a landscape company I had taken over from my dad. I built it from $300,000 to $3 million a year. And that was in less than 3 years, by the way. And that was very much boots on the ground. I would show up in my truck, shake hands, kiss babies, talk to homeowners, do big build out projects. Some of them were $2,000, some of them were $600,000, and make sure the jobs got done properly, and had 32 employees and did that. The problem with that was I went on a trip to Mexico, and it's like a random Wednesday, and there's all these other entrepreneurs there, and I classified myself, I'm an entrepreneur, right? I'm a business owner. And they were all living their life, having the time of their life on a Wednesday afternoon, hanging out, drinking, chilling. And I was stressed because I had 32 employees that were still back home in Florida working. And I'm on my phone, I'm checking emails, I'm FaceTiming my landscape guys. Like, no, that plant goes over there, rotate that palm tree. Like, I was miserable. And I flew home on Sunday and I knew that I didn't want to do that anymore, but I had no idea what I wanted to do. But I quit. Like, just called it. My dad didn't even give him 2 weeks. Feel kind of bad about that. Sorry, Dad. And I was like, I just can't do this, not for another fucking day.
Yeah.
No money in the bank, no idea what I was going to do. And my ex at the time, she was an online fitness coach, doing pretty well, like 20, 30K a month. And that's how I kind of stumbled into the online coaching industry. Her and I launched a program together. We did 111K in 60 days, just all organic through her following. We were kind of doing the sales calls together. But I knew I needed to do my own thing. I couldn't, like, rely on her.
Yeah.
And she actually made the recommendation, why don't you get into being, like, a high-ticket closer? And I was like, what is that? Like jets or houses, or like what is a high ticket closer, right? And so I got into the industry, and the rest is history. I started as a closer. We built that company to 1.7 million a month. You're good. Is this one on? Mine's on. Green?
Yeah, I don't know why that one just turned off. But you're all good now.
Good. So we built that company to 1.7 million a month. I was their best producing closer. My best month ever did 485K in a month, right? So it's like all these people who are excited, like, oh, dude, I did like 20K this month. Like, as a closer, I did 485K. I made $52,500 in commissions that month. Like, it was disgusting. Joined another guy, took him from $25,000 a month to $250,000 a month in 10 months. Left him, joined another girl, took her from $100,000 a month to $550,000 a month in 14 months. Almost as a growth consultant, selling, raising the prices, building the team, the systems, the automations, the training, like management, everything. And then I just looked at myself one day. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, yeah, I'm making like 35, 40K a month. Like, things are fine, but I'm helping one person get rich. And I have a skill set that I can help so many other people. And so last November I left, had the idea in my head of what I wanted to do, came up with the name closesales.com, looked at the domain, it was $2,100, negotiated it down to $1,850, got the domain for $1,850, had a logo built out the whole program and launched. And today's the 1 year anniversary. We were looking at Stripe. It's like just under 900K in the first 12 months of the business. But with the trajectory, my first full year in business would be 2024, and I'll click just over $1 million. So it's pretty cool.
That's so sick, man.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And yeah, I think a lot of people, like, they try to skip the steps. And like, hearing your story there, it's very clear that, like, you've been in the trenches deep for a long time.
Dude, I took 7,000 sales calls. That's 7,000 hours sitting in my chair having a one-to-one conversation with people all over the world, every socioeconomic background, every industry, like 7,000 calls. And what I tell people is, like, you kind of have to be an idiot to not figure something out if you do it for that many hours.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's why I tell people, I'm like, dude, I make building a coaching offer look easy. So I, like, last month did 140K in cash, and it's like, I make it look easy, but I had to eat shit for 4 years leading up to get to this point, and that's the work behind the scenes that nobody sees.
Totally. It's the same thing with me, right? It's like, had an agency, grew to 6 figures, hated it. This agency, I was literally just a freelancer doing everything myself. And then, because I was in a coaching program, I joined the team. My coach was like, hey dude, you're crushing it. Because I was signing clients every week. He's like, you're crushing it. Do you want to join my team as a head coach and, like, teach other people how you've been able to grow? I'm like, sure.
Yeah, why not?
I was looking for any way out from what I was doing. I really didn't like it anymore. And so anyways, yeah, I joined that. A month later, the sales guy quit, started taking sales calls. And then I think it was like 9 months later, we went from 40K a month to 220. And then I was like, shit happened. I quit. The whole team, the rest of the team followed me. And then I was just kind of flailing with, like, what am I going to do now? And I was like, well, Jeremy, why don't you do what actually fucking works?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and then that's when I launched. And it was about literally 2 years ago, as of like this past week, I think. So yeah, it's been a hell of a ride. I think I did like 30K cash first month when I launched. And then first 80K a month, 5 months in, so 7-figure run rate. And then first 100K a month, 7 months in, and then first 200, 8 months in.
So good.
Just with me and a setter. And
so
right now,
good.
like, you're pretty much a one-man show.
Yeah.
And it's super cool to see that. And then, yeah, but again, like we make it look easy.
But we hate shit for so long
We hate
that
shit,
we can
yeah.
talk about, but nobody will experience with us. And dude,
No.
I wish back then, because I wasn't on social media for 5 years. Like I had an Instagram, never posted on it. Like had a Facebook, never posted on it.
Same.
And so I was a ghost. Like I was off the map. And now that I do more marketing and social media, and I love putting myself out there and inspiring people, I wish I would have just filmed in the trenches for all those years.
Yeah.
I wish I would have saved all of those call recordings and me just one call closing 100K deals and just going off. Like, I wish so bad that I could have filmed all that to put it on display to show people what it's actually like to eat shit for so long.
Yeah.
And I say eat shit, I was paid well, but I was also working 16 hours a day. I was also taking 10, 12, 15 calls, sales calls a day. Just like a dog in the streets, like going nuts. Like this is what I'm gonna do. I planted my flag in the sand. I was like, I'll be in this industry for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So went all in. Yeah.
I love that. And yeah, it's interesting, man, because a lot of people say that they have these big goals, big dreams, big vision, but they don't actually do what's required.
No.
And I don't know if it could be part of it where like they don't see what's required, they don't know what it is, or they're just not willing to do it.
Yeah.
And so
Maybe a little bit of both.
I think a little bit of both. Yeah, I think a lot of people claim that they want something more than they actually do, because otherwise they would actually just do the stuff and do it for a long time. But
You heard the Eric Thomas quote, like, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you will be successful.
yeah,
And it's like, it sounds kind of cliche, but it's like, we want to breathe pretty bad, right? Like, you know, we're out here in Scottsdale, we got the beautiful weather, like, it's just such clean air, but when you want to succeed that bad, where you just sleep it, eat it, breathe it, and you're not willing to make excuses, you're willing to cut off friends, you're willing to cut off family, you're willing to do the hard shit, that's the recipe that every single successful, right? Success to you could be 20K a month, could be 500K a week, I don't care, but like every successful person that you look up to, they all say the same thing, so it must be true. They all say you have to work your ass off, you have to cut people off, you have to not make excuses, you have to do the hard shit that you really don't want to do. And if every single person is saying the same thing, it's probably correct. Like, it's probably true.
yeah. How do you feel when you look back over the last 12 months? Like, how does that make you feel? What thoughts run through your mind? Like when you're sitting by the pool right now, we've got a whole whack of people flying in right now. They'll be here in an hour.
The inmates.
The inmates are coming to the prison in an hour and flying out here to meet us. How's it make you feel?
So it's not even in my head, but it's like a reaction in my body when you say that. And you can probably hear like my tonality drop a little bit. It's like a really sobering feeling where I can actually feel my heart rate like slow from just like bliss and gratitude. Because I remember 5 years ago when I was 50K in debt and had so much ambition and no idea what I wanted to do. And looking at this life I've created from literal scratch, like no one said like, hey, you should start a sales consulting company, right? Like I made that decision. And it's a really crazy feeling to know that all of my life has culminated to right now. And if I'm being genuinely honest, I wouldn't change a single thing about my life right now. Like sitting in this hot tub, having a conversation with you, you've been a massive impact on my life. We can get into like how it came to be of us doing like a joint retreat and stuff like that. But it's a really sobering feeling of just gratitude. And, you know, a couple months ago, I bought my dream car. A lot of that thanks to you.
Damn right you did.
I just drive that thing around, and sometimes I have no music, no phone, and I'm just sitting there in tears. Like, people probably pull up to me at the red light, and they're like, oh, dude, that's a sick... Is he crying? Right? Like, they're like, that's a sweet car. Why is that guy crying? Like, I thought you were supposed to be happy in a supercar, but I'm crying tears of gratitude and joy. And it's not disbelief, because I did the work. Like, I don't feel like, oh, I got super lucky. I just ended up here, right? Like, I did a shit ton of hard work to get here, but I'll never lose that feeling of gratitude. I mean, how many times have I thanked you in the past 24 hours? Like, just for being out here, throwing this retreat with me, like, giving me the opportunity that you did. Like, gratitude is the secret to everything, but it's got to be blissfully dissatisfied, meaning we're grateful and we're blissful and everything. Like, we're so inspired by how far we've come, but we're also dissatisfied because we're savage motherfuckers and we want more.
100%.
So it's a really awesome feeling, man. And it's also scary because I know I'm just getting started. Like, if I just do what I'm doing and compound that over another year, 2 years, 10 years, like, it's disgusting. It's the amount of people's lives that we can change. And tell them about what I bought you. When I first started working with you, and you brought me in to, hey, can you coach my clients in sales? And we kind of worked out a really sick strategic partnership together. But tell them the quote that I put on the and what I bought you and shipped to your house in Canada.
Yeah, so I bought a murdered out Lambo in January.
Damn right you did. Cheers to that, buddy. I know you wanted that thing bad. Cheers to that. You deserve it,
man. Yeah. And so, anyways, a few months in, Austin sent up. He printed out a photo of me in front of it and had a quote on there. And it was like, you can have anything you want in life as long as you help
enough people
get what they want as well. I might have reversed that, but
same story, same principle.
Yeah. Anyways, this awesome photo. It's actually like literally in the process of locking in an office for like 2 weeks out from now, and that's 100% going in there.
Yeah, because it's a big ass canvas.
Oh, 100%.
Right?
Yeah, it's sick.
Yeah.
And that's exactly it too, because it's like, it's funny, man. Like, looking back on just the journey, like I think like 5-6 years ago, when I was just like broke, no job, no parents' basement, nothing going on, and like I could probably find journal entries right now where it's just like, if I can just make 5 to 10K a month, I will be the richest person in the world.
Yep. I
will be able to travel, live in villas in Costa Rica, and like ball the fuck out.
Yep.
And at the start, it was like a lot of my motivation was like away from the pain, but it was very like selfish. And so it was just about me. How can I make money so I can get out of this situation? But then it gets to a point where like, and I think that's like necessary at the start.
Sure.
But then you have to transition to like towards desire.
Yeah.
In terms of like, okay, I'm out of the pain. I'm good. Like, I've got a nice car, got a nice house. I'm chilling. But a lot of people get comfortable and complacent because they don't transition their motivation to, all right, now what's next? What's that grand vision? What's that big picture?
Yep.
And like, what is the real impact that I want to make? Because when I was first starting out, like, I didn't give a fuck about the impact. I didn't care.
No,
that meant nothing
doesn't matter.
to me. I was like, who?
Yeah.
I'm like, why would you want? I just want to get rich.
Yeah.
But like the way to
we
get
call that
rich,
maturity. You know, you grow up a little bit and you realize that nothing feels better than helping people.
Yeah.
Because if you get rich scamming people or just being a shitty coach or whatever, like, you feel like shit at night.
100%.
But when your clients, and I know you get this all the time, and I get it all the time, they message you and they're like, dude, this is the best investment I've ever made. Dude, thank you. Thank you, changed my life. Like, I appreciate you. Or they're shipping you gifts. Or like, they go out to dinner with you and they're fighting you and they want to buy your dinner. And it's like, that's not how it's supposed to be. Like, I got it. Like, you're my client. Like, let me buy you dinner.
Yeah.
And you can see the genuine lives being changed. Like, we went out to dinner last night with Rachel and Swomo, and Rachel went to the bathroom and I asked her partner, Swomo, I was like, hey, like, how's she feeling? She's like, I've watched just from the day that she hired you to like now, a few months later, like just the change every day. Like, you have radically changed our life. And they're fitness coaches for women, and they've served 2,500 women. And so now I get to be a fitness coach for women, right? By helping her close more sales and enroll more people.
Yeah.
It's just the ripple effect. Like, that's what I enjoy. That's what I love. Because we both make enough money where if you go from last month I do 140, if this month I do 240, quite literally nothing changes for me. I have my dream house, I have my dream car, I have more money than I can spend. Like, I'm good, right? Like, what am I going to do? Go buy a private jet? Like, no. It's like, so the money just becomes, we can split one. The money, you just kind of become numb to it, but the impact will never go away.
Yeah, 100%.
It's incredible.
And it was really interesting too, hearing you talk about just like your stance of gratitude, because the words that you were saying are literally in my journal,
really,
in my bedroom right now, from the plane ride down yesterday.
Wow.
I was reflecting on it, and I was like, I literally wrote, I'm like, I'm getting emotional right now thinking about the journey and the process. So it's like, just over the last like 12 months, it's just like, it's crazy, like, to think about the kind of shit that I've done and like I'm about to do as well. It's like
that we're currently doing.
Like
we're literally doing it.
Yeah,
we're doing what we've dreamt of for so long.
Yeah, and I was just like, I get emotional when I think about that, and it's just like, I know young Jeremy would be so proud.
Mm-hmm.
But then immediately I was like, kind of like, I'll take the torch from here. And now, like, I want to make future Jeremy proud of current Jeremy right now. And then immediately the next page was like, all right, what do I want next?
Yeah.
Like, what do I want to do next? And it's like, okay, host a retreat here, an office here, and then, like, just all these other things.
But the only way to get all those things is by helping more people.
100%.
It's the sickest industry I've ever come across, because the only way we can make money, at least money long term, right? Because you can be a shitty coach, make a bunch of money, but then your reputation's going to fall off and you're screwed.
Everybody in the space that's happened to.
Yeah, not going to throw rocks at people, but yeah, it's...
You know,
like, yeah, just because you're making money doesn't mean you're actually a good coach and care about people.
Yeah.
And that's why we have so many testimonials. That's why we have so many clients. What is it, 18, 19 clients, like, literally who will be here in the next 30 minutes or so.
We sold out 2 mansions.
Yeah.
And then some.
And you just sold out a massive, the biggest villa in Europe. You sold that out. You got people to fly all to Spain,
Australia, Dubai, South America,
all over
North
the world,
America.
Converge there. You sold that out with ease, literally with ease, and then had more people. Yeah, and had more people saying, "Hey, can I come?" And you're like, "Dude, like, you can, but you can't stay here. We're booked."
Yeah.
I just sold one out, and again had other people staying at other Airbnbs because I couldn't fit them all in the mansion. By the way, 4 stories with a 5th rooftop story. Like, it's disgusting. People aren't flying out to hang out with us if we're not changing their life in a crazy way.
Yeah.
It's the most beautiful industry and the most beautiful thing when you actually care about the people.
Yeah.
And then they can reciprocate that by coming to the retreats and thanking you over and over. Like, dude, it's amazing.
It's so funny too, because it's like, you get all the hate comments. You're like, oh yeah, it's another fucking coach coaching coaches.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, our qualification for who we let in the program is they have to have at least 3 rock solid client case studies. They have to be very good at what they do.
Yep.
Otherwise, we don't want to help them get more leads and grow their business and make money if they're just going to rip people off and scam them.
Correct.
So it's like, yes, every single person I work with, they are good and they actually make an impact.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so funny because it's one of those things where it's like, it's literally just like a mirror. It's like, you want to make more money, you have to help more people. You have to get better at helping more people.
Yeah.
Because everyone else you're competing with is also getting better.
Yep.
So if you're just like staying the same, you're actually getting worse than the baseline.
Correct.
Because the baseline is increasing every day.
Yeah.
And if you're not even keeping up to that, then like you're literally just falling behind. And then you're not going to be good. You're not going to stay up to date with what's working, what's getting results, and then you'll be nobody 2 years from now.
Yeah.
And I see that all the time with a lot of the big dogs in the space 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's funny, there's this one guy, like 2 or 3 years ago when I was a closer, like I was like, this guy's crushing it. He's doing like crazy numbers and like everyone was like talking about him. And then he was trying to book in a sales call on my calendar a few months ago.
Yeah.
And I canceled it.
You're like, what happened to you?
I'm like, nah, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah. Because like and it was mainly the reputation. Because I've just heard so many not so great things from just anybody, and like I just don't even want to have a conversation with somebody like that.
I turned down a client that was doing over $1 million a month a couple weeks ago because I just haven't heard the best things, and I know that every single client that works with me, I will turn them into a savage closer. And I know that, like, they had a whole sales team, obviously, and I know that I'll teach that sales team how to double, triple their conversion rate. Like, I did the math for what he was leaving on the table. It was $6 million a year is what I would have helped them capture. But if they don't have a good reputation, they're not actually helping people in a big way.
Yeah.
That's $6 million being extracted from good people that deserve a good coach that they're not going to get one.
Yeah.
And they were ready to ink the deal, and I thought about it, and I was like, this is out of alignment with me. And again, I don't need anybody's money at this point. Do I want to help people? Yeah, but they have to be deserving of that help.
Yeah.
So I think that's huge, just on morals and ethics in the industry.
That's a powerful concept too, man, because like there's also like a sense of entitlement when it comes to people like hiring coaches. Because a lot of the times there's like this expectation that you're entitled to the result just by paying somebody money.
Yep.
And then you don't actually do the work. So like that's part of it too. And yeah, like, because I've joined programs where it's like I pay $30,000 for the onboarding fee and then $2,500 a month just to stay in there. And it's like, did that 6 months ago. I've hopped on like 2 calls and like haven't really said shit in anything. And I was on a call with the coaches a few days ago, just before we flew out, and they're like, dude, you should be like be more active in the community. I'm like, because I told them, I'm like, yeah, I just had a record month after like rolling out what you guys told me to do. And they're like, what?
Didn't even update them.
No. And
that's like me and your program. I just stopped posting all the wins.
Yeah.
Like,
but then it was like a good reality check, because I was like, you know what, guys? I'm sorry for being a bad client, because I expect people in my community to post their wins.
Sure. And
so I need to be the client that I want to attract.
Yeah.
And I wasn't doing that. So I was like acting out of integrity and out of alignment. And like, I know it's kind of off topic, because it's like I did what they told me to do. So I actually did the work and I applied it. I took a little bit because I had some other shit in the back end, but still. And then like it worked. And then there's that. But I think that's another really important concept, is like, it's just like literally just the mirror principle, right? It's just like you receive what you put out.
100%.
And so I think a lot of people just need to just smarten up. And
I think that's a lot of people just need to do the work, dude.
Yeah.
Like if you just do the work
literally
in the coaching space, it's not that hard. Obviously, you have to have a skill set.
Yeah.
You have to be good at whatever it is you're teaching, an expert, the best.
Yeah.
But if you just do the work, it's not that hard. Like, there's only 3 things you need in an online business: marketing, sales, fulfillment.
Yeah.
And if you're actually good at what you do, the fulfillment comes naturally. That's the fun part. That's where you get to help people.
Yeah.
If you need help with marketing, just pay you, and the marketing's solved. Like, problem solved. Check. Like, make investment, do what you say.
Yeah.
Work with your team. Like, have you help script the ads. Like, okay, marketing is solved. And then if you're not great at sales, some people are great at sales. Some people don't need me. I've gotten on calls with people. I'm like, dude, you don't need me. You're fucking crushing it. Your price is good. Your close rate is great. Like, you're good. When you want to go build a sales team and take that next step, come back to me for my higher level program. But right now, you're extraordinarily profitable. You're working with Jeremy. You're at like a 20x ROAS. Like, dude, just keep doing what you're doing. Like, everything's fine. But if they need help with sales, then they can just hire me.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're a great coach and you hire Jeremy and then hire Austin, like, that's the recipe. You can build a $100,000 a month company.
Yeah.
Pretty damn quick.
Let's talk about something that's going to be kind of controversial.
I love controversy.
I know you do. For somebody that wants to build a $100,000 a month business,
Yep.
why would somebody not be able to? If they do the work, if they show up, if they do what's required of them, why? But then they don't hit 100K a month. But they can't. They're not getting close. They're still just stuck. They're not seeing any growth or progress.
Yep.
Why is that? What do you think?
So if they're doing the work, like they're actually doing the marketing, they're investing in sales help, they're doing the work.
They're posting content, they're running ads, they're booking calls,
If they're doing everything right and they do it long enough, time will catch up.
100%.
Some people make money fast, some people make money slow. And what happens is, what I have found is every human, but especially entrepreneurs, they have a pain tolerance. And some people's pain tolerance is up here. They'll burn money. They'll go into debt. They don't care. They're like, I'm dying on this hill.
Yeah.
I'm making it work. Other people have a very low pain tolerance. Yeah, same. And that's why we are where we are.
Yeah.
And the lower your pain tolerance, the more likely you are to fail. Like that's
totally.
it. The lower your pain tolerance, the more likely you are to fail, because building a business requires capital, it requires time, it requires grit, it requires tenacity. There's a lot of things that it requires.
Patience.
Exactly. And so many people, their pain tolerance is so low. And so if I was your closer and I was closing your calls, because I would only want to, forget my commission, I don't care. I would only want to enroll clients that I know are going to be successful.
Yeah.
And so if I was your closer, what I would be asking is, hey, your business is at, let's say, $3K a month right now, $5K a month, right? How much money could you commit to ads? Well, I could probably do like $1,500 a month. Okay, cool. $50 a day, $1,500 a month. We can start with that. My next question would be, how many months in a row would you be willing to burn with no return on investment before you called it quits and shut down your business and say ads don't work? Because what I'm doing there is I'm temp checking their pain tolerance, knowing it's not going to take a long time for it to work.
Yeah.
But I also know that it shows me an inside look into their mindset of if they have what it takes to be successful anyway. And if they don't have what it takes to be successful, we don't need their money. And I don't want to put them in the program.
Yeah.
We want to keep our program of high caliber people that want to work their ass off and support other people. Not just take and be selfish, right? We've all had those clients. So it's like, yeah. And so we want people who are like going to support the community and be successful, short-term, long-term, and be good coaches. And so I think a lot of people just don't have the pain tolerance. They don't have the patience. They feel entitled. They want it to happen right now. And then actually joining programs like ours can be a detriment to them.
Yeah.
Because they join and the first thing they see is the wins channel, 6, 7, 8, 10 posts a day. Like, dude, if you join my program at the wrong time and it's the end of the month.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, oh, just did 250K this month. Oh, just did 180K, record breaking. Like, boom, boom, boom. Hey, my close rate's at 89% this month. And it's like, some people, like, it can almost be degrading to them or they have that comparison to other people. And I tell my clients, Mike, look, support other people in the wins channel, whether big or small, because you're putting out to the universe and attracting wins to you by supporting others. But whatever you do, don't compare yourself to others, because some of these people posting these wins have worked with me for months and months and months and a long time.
Yeah.
Or they've been building their business for 5, 6, 7 years. You've been building yours for 5 months.
Yeah.
And you can't compare yourself to these other people and their pain tolerance, they hit the pain tolerance and they give up. That's the only way, if you do the right necessary inputs, to not get the output is to give up.
Yeah.
That's quite literally the only way I can see it not working.
I love that because I think the same thing too. It's like you can't fail if you don't quit.
Correct.
And I can speak for myself here on like how does one develop a stronger pain tolerance? And I know for myself it's like physical pain. If I put physical pain on my own body, I self-inflicted, then my mental game gets way stronger too. So for example, it's like I did 75 hard for over 350 days. That's not fucking easy.
No.
Right? That's very painful. I just say no to anything and everything that didn't align with that. There's nights it's like 3 a.m. and I have to go do a 45-minute outdoor workout when it's -20 in Canada, fucking snowing with 2 feet of snow on the ground.
When everybody else is sleeping by the fireplace.
That's right. And then wake up in the morning and do a cold shower for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And like, it's not fun. Or like run an ultra marathon with a month of training. And
You did do that.
I did do that on my birthday last year.
Good for you.
Yeah.
In Vegas, right?
No, that was in March.
What did you do in Vegas? Did you do a run in Vegas as well?
Ran a marathon.
Marathon in Vegas, yeah.
And yeah, with zero training. I tried to run a month out when we signed up for it. And I got wicked shin splints like 2 miles in. And I could hardly walk for 2 weeks, so I didn't run. And then tried to do it again, same thing. And it was the day before the race. Went to the expo to pick up the bibs and everything. And I asked him like what? Okay, I'm like, worst case scenario, what happens if I can't finish? Like, is it worth starting? She's like, oh, we'll just drive you down, like whatever. Because they bussed us up to the top of a mountain where it was snowing outside of Vegas. We ran downhill for half.
Oh wow!
So like it was just like your knees and ankles were just pounding, and then it was then we ran into Vegas.
Wow.
And she's like, oh, we'll drive you down. I was like, okay.
But you're like, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm finishing this bitch.
So I went to a sports store. I bought ladies size 1 compression sleeves and men's size 1 compression socks, and I doubled them up on my shins or my calves, because apparently shin splints is like when your calves get really inflamed.
Okay.
It pulls it back, and so it's like a stretching feeling almost.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, whoa, these fucking things can't move, and they can't hurt.
Yeah.
No pain. Crushed it under 4 hours. Nuts. And
yeah, good for you.
Yeah.
But that's the dog mentality.
That's the dog
That's
mentality.
the pain tolerance.
Yeah.
Where you're purposefully doing it.
100%.
And in business, you got to have a pain tolerance. And the higher it is, the more likely, the more guaranteed you are, I will say, to be successful.
Straight up. Yeah. And same with like, go to the gym 6 days a week.
Yep.
I train like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Train hard.
We had a great workout this
I
morning.
had a great workout this morning.
Timmy, put in some clips of us working out this morning. Overlay those. We were crushing it.
Oh, yeah.
Austin.
Yeah, buddy.
You know that, yeah.
Little do people know how easy it is to make multiple 7 figures. It's just really not that hard. If you're good at something and you have a niche, you can make 7 figures.
Yeah. So I think like in order to develop the mental fortitude, you have to put your body through physical stress voluntarily for a long period of time. You have to just push yourself out of the comfort zone. And then when it comes to sitting in front of a camera, clicking record, and then just saying a few sentences, and then editing it up in 10 minutes and posting on Instagram, that becomes less intimidating.
Correct.
Much less
Like I just ran a
intimidating.
marathon. You know, like
Exactly.
I can record something on a camera. I can get on a
Exactly.
sales call because so many people have sales anxiety,
Oh, yeah.
right? But if like you're always doing hard shit, it becomes not hard anymore. You're like, dude, I can do
That's
this.
right. Yeah, because your baseline for what's hard
Yeah.
just like, I guess, decreases or increases. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Everything
yeah,
becomes easier.
everything becomes easier.
Yeah. That's like me coming out here, and I posted this on my story yesterday.
Yeah.
I was on my layover and waiting to get on my next flight, and I said on my story, I was like, hey, judge me if you wish, but one thing I can guarantee you is I'll always be real. And it's like, dude, I've had flight anxiety my whole life, and I've said no to trips. I've turned things down. I didn't go out to Spain. I mean, I had a wedding, but I still could have came to Spain, cut it a day or two short.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, no, it's the wedding. No, it's not the wedding. I don't want to get on an 9 hour flight and have a 20-hour travel day to Europe,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, I've had flight anxiety. So when you were like, hey, we're going to do Scottsdale, the first thing I'm doing is like looking at flights, like how long am I going to be on a flight for? And I remember at the airport yesterday, it was 5:30 in the morning because we had a 7 a.m. flight, and my whole body, like my nervous system is saying like, don't do this. Like it's just ingrained in my body. Like I'm sweating, I'm having anxiety. It's like, don't do this. And I'm like, no, you're going to purposefully do this, and you're going
Yeah.
to go. And then it makes it easier the next time. So when you're purposefully inflicting hard shit on yourself, that's obviously productive,
Yeah.
right? Then it raises, like you said, that baseline of like, wow, like these other things aren't that hard anymore.
Yeah.
And then you become grateful that you did it. And you'll never look back on doing the hard shit and be like, man, I shouldn't have done that. Like you'll always
Yeah.
be grateful for it. But what's easy to do is also easy not to do. Filming an ad
100%.
and editing it and posting it's easy to do. But most people just won't do it because it's so easy to do that they'll just not do it as well.
Yeah.
Going to the gym is not that hard. Carve out an hour and a half of your day to drive there, hit a great workout, come home, eat a protein, drink a protein shake, and then go back to your day. It's not that hard to do.
Yeah.
But why does 99% of the world not do it? Because it's also easy not to do it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I love now is just that dog mentality too.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, anytime something hard happens, my mind just defaults to the Jocko Willink video.
Yeah.
It's just called Good, period. And it's just like, oh, your wife left you. Good.
Good.
Right? You'll get to know yourself better. It's like, oh, you didn't get that promotion at work. Good.
Yeah.
Right? And it's just like, whenever something bad happens, you have to completely flip the frame
Yeah.
on its head and position it as a good thing, because it's just
Yeah.
going to make you stronger and better and more well equipped to handle even harder and bigger problems
Yeah.
down the road.
Let me ask you a question. You run in circles with a lot of very high level, very successful 7, 8, 9 figure entrepreneurs, like every day. Like I don't think you go 24 hours without associating either online, on the internet, or in person with 7, 8, 9 figure entrepreneurs. Have you ever met or had conversations with any of these very high level people that did not have that dog mentality, or do you think that every single one of them has that grit, that tenacity, where they're willing to bet on themselves and do the hard shit?
You can see it in their eyes.
Yeah. But have you ever found one that didn't?
No.
So what is the common theme? It's that
Exactly
mentality.
that. And like,
So if you're watching this and you want to become bigger, better, further along than you are today,
yeah.
you must grow and possess a new mindset, that next level that you don't currently have. And so if I wasn't where I wanted to be, I would be working on my mindset, my grit, my tenacity, doing the hard shit every single day, because I know that everybody I look up to has it, and the sooner I can possess it, the faster I'll get to where I want to go.
Yeah. On a tactical level too, all of those big dogs that I know, they've built a life that they don't need to escape from. They've built a life that they actually love. So every day is so much fun to them. And if there's something that comes up that is not, they delegate it, they offload it, they eliminate it, they get rid of it.
Yeah.
They're not responsible for that. They stay within their zone of genius and what they love and what fires them up and fills them with energy. And then the things that drain them, they offload to somebody else, or they completely
Because those things have to get
eliminate.
done.
They have to get done.
But
Yeah.
you don't have to do them.
That's right.
If you're a good enough leader to delegate and manage properly.
100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, and like with a lot of these guys, it's like when you're having a conversation with them, like I said, you can see in their eyes. You can see the years, the decades of getting kicked in the teeth and dragged through the mud.
Yeah.
With no idea if they were going to come. They had an idea that they were going to come out on the other side.
Yep.
They didn't know how it would shape out,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't care because they were just.
They knew it'd be worth it.
They knew it would be worth it.
And they were willing to bet on themselves, no matter how hard shit got.
And what's the alternative? I ask myself that all the time. What's the alternative? I stop doing this and I go
get a job. Yeah, go get a job somewhere.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Right? Or
We're
it's
mentally unemployable. You good luck going to get a job anywhere, doing
Yeah.
anything for anybody else.
Yeah. And so
That's why part-time business owners most of the time never work, because they're half in, half out, and they have a safety net.
Yeah.
Well, if this doesn't work, if I can't make enough money here, I could just go do this.
Yeah.
And that safety net kills businesses. It's almost impossible to build a successful business having that safety net. And I get it in the beginning, right? It makes sense. Like, you got to have your bills paid and things like that. But you also have to have that dog mentality where it's like, I'm getting out of this current situation as quickly as possible, and I'm going to do everything that it takes over here on my business so it can get me out of here. Not, oh, well, if I do some stuff and it doesn't work, I could just go. That plan B kills more dreams than most.
It's already not going to work.
Correct. It's just, can't do
If
it.
you think it's not, if you're wondering if it's not going to work, then it's not going to work.
Yeah, you've already lost.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy to think about too, just like kind of really zooming out. It's like I've kind of been in this space for like actively for like 4 years. Like started my agency, closer, coach, and then started my business 2 years ago.
Yep.
And then it was like 3-ish years before that of just like learning, reading a book a week, taking courses, watching hours of YouTube videos on how to run Facebook ads or copywriting or sales or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
To build that foundation. And so it's like 7 years total, I'd say, collectively, 4 active.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, what's it going to be like 20 years from now? It's crazy to think about. I get so fired up and excited. And like, it's insane. So
It's a lot of fun, man.
it is.
Think about how many people you have served and helped that far from into the future.
Insane. Yeah. Insane.
It's incredible.
I got a question for you. How important is authenticity when it comes to personal branding, building a business, making content, stuff like that? Because from what I see, it's like some people, you can have 2 people that say the exact same copy. They say the same words in an ad, for example.
Sure.
One of them crushes 10x ROAS, 100 grand a month, boom. The other guy, break even if they're lucky.
Yeah.
Maybe get a 2x, 3x ROAS, and they're wondering what's going on.
Yeah.
To me, I see that as like person A, they're being genuine, true, and authentic to their self and to their inner core.
Yep.
And they're in touch with that. Person B, they're like trying to be somebody that they're not. But then that's also how you do become that person eventually, because you kind of have
Act
to like
as if,
you have to act as if.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to get your thoughts and opinion on that. Like, how does somebody really like truly develop that like it factor?
Yeah. Well, I think the difference between those 2 people you just described, it's actually not, in my opinion, authenticity is the missing piece. I think it's confidence. I think person A actually believes what they're saying, and person B doesn't have that confidence and that conviction where they almost don't believe it. And you can feel that through their energy, their cadence, their tonality, etc. I think to your original question of authenticity, it depends if you want to make money in the short term or you want to make money forever. And I think that you don't have to be authentic at all, and you can make money short term. And I think very quickly people figure that out, and then your business will hit 10, 20, maybe 50 grand a month if you're lucky, and then it will go off a cliff, because you can't be inauthentic all the time. You're going to have clients, and you're going to be doing client success and coaching and things like that, and they're going to be like, wait, this is like a radically different person than how you are on the internet, or this is a radically different person in the ads or your sales call with me, whatever. and they figure it out, they don't feel good about it, and they kind of drop off, they don't recommend you, things like that. I think if you want to make money long term, which I think what every sane person should want to do, you have to be authentically yourself. And that's why, like, I'm a sales guy, right? I'm not a fluffy marketer. I don't understand that industry very well.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
No, they're the best, but like, it's just not my zone of genius. And I'm very confident to say I'm good at this, I'm not good at that, right?
Yeah, I'm the same with sales.
Yeah, and I can come off as like this masculine, you know, rah kind of guy, but like that's just who I am, and people are either going to love me for it or hate me for it, but either way I have to be me. When these clients walk through the door any minute now, I'm going to be me, the same guy you see on my stories, the same guy you see on my Instagram, the same guy you see in my ads, my VSL, my sales call, my onboarding call, my coaching. I'm the same guy all the time, and it makes my life tremendously easier because I don't have to put on a front. I don't have to, like, I go hang out with my mom as a Christian adoption attorney, and I'm saying, fuck. I'm not going to change who I am to make other people feel comfortable. I'm just going to authentically be myself, and you're going to love me and accept me for it and want to work with me, or you're going to hate me and be like, oh, that guy's a douchebag, that guy's this. I just did a testimonial with Zach. Shout out to him, and in the testimonial, he's at my house for my last retreat, and he's like, dude, when I hired you, I didn't even like you. And I was like, wait, what? And he's like, but I realized that I had to mature, and it was my ego, because every time I talked to you on Jeremy's group calls, you would call me out on my shit in front of 35, 40 other people. And you would tell me not what I wanted to hear, but what I needed to hear.
Yeah.
And once I swallowed my pride, I realized that you actually cared about me. And he's like, dude, I will follow you to the ends of the earth. I went from not liking you to now I fucking love you. He's like, don't build any more programs because I will buy them. I will buy anything, right? And hey, retreat, he's like, dude, run my card, I'm in, no questions asked.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, so I'm not worried, do people like me or am I making them feel good? I'm here to serve. And if you take that in the right way, great. If you take it in the wrong way, that's okay too. It's not my responsibility. I just want to help you and change your life, and I'll always tell you what you need to hear. That's the authenticity we're talking about. Whether, no matter how it makes them feel, I'll always tell them the truth. So if you want to make money long term, you have to be authentic. You want to make money short term, you can pretend to be someone you're not, and it'll all fall apart. But the difference between the two people that you described, someone's confident as hell and believes genuinely deep to their core, like it's emotional feeling. It's not just a thought. Oh yeah, I could do that. Like they feel it, and it shines through their ads and their marketing. The other person, maybe they have another job. Maybe they have a backup plan. Maybe they're like, if it works, cool. If not, that's cool too. I'll throw a couple thousand at it. If I don't get any clients, I'll just shut the business down. That confidence, that lack of confidence rather, shines through, and then people don't want to follow them and work with them.
100%.
Yeah.
You have to be all in or all out.
Yeah.
And I think there's like, I noticed that in a lot of areas of my life though too. It's like that same mentality. I'm either all into something or completely all out.
Yeah.
So I don't want anything to do with it.
It's either a hell yes or a fuck no.
That's right.
No in between.
Yeah. And so I think if you look at like the regular like distribution curve, like a bell curve, for example, it's like 99% of people are right in the middle. And then it's like the two extremes on one end.
Yeah.
So it's like, how does the 1% become the 1%? It's because they're the 1%, they're the most extreme on the one end. And all of the big dogs, the 8-9-figure guys that I met and know, they're all extremely extreme.
Yeah.
And it's very clear to see that.
Yeah.
And so, with that said, I think that might be a good place to wrap it up.
Did 100%.
Clients are on their way.
We got a bunch of people about to walk through the door. We have
a
ridiculous weekend planned, and I just wanted to end this by saying thank you, because I hired you. I'm not a marketer. I need a marketing help, so I'm going to go to the best. Whatever you want to be paid, I don't care. I'll pay it, right? And I was in no financial position to pay you. I was building a house that I couldn't afford. I was going through a nasty divorce that cost me well over 6 figures. And I was like, dude, like, I really want to work with you. Can you put it on a payment plan? And you're like, yeah, I'll help you out. And I'm grateful for that. But then getting into your program and then becoming a coach in the program and supporting every single hundreds of your clients that you've put through it. Yeah. And then a lot of them have joined my program. Like, dude, I would have had everything I have, my house, my McLaren, like everything I have, I would have had without you. But you helped me collapse time and get there a hell of a lot faster by giving me the opportunity that you did. And I want you to know, like, and I say it all the time, but like on camera, off camera, behind the scenes, like in front of people, like, dude, thank you. Because you genuinely like gave me an opportunity to support your clients, which takes a lot of trust. Like, totally. Client success is important. You don't want some idiot coaching your clients and like, damn, this program's okay. There's this idiot head coach who's kind of giving me some shit advice, right? And you gave me an opportunity, and I know that I've made you proud, and I've helped a lot of your clients where they've worked with me one-on-one or not, just getting on the group calls, and I'm forever grateful. and I really fucking appreciate you.
Right back at you, man.
Thank you.
It's not every day. It is actually very, very rare where you find somebody who's on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
And the alignment between us, and we knew this from day one too, which is crazy.
Yeah.
It's just been so synergistic and been such a win for me, a win for you, and a win for all of our
The clients are the ones. The clients are the ones really winning. The numbers are disgusting. They're the ones really winning here.
Actually disgusting.
And it makes me so happy.
Yeah. So, anyways, man, thank you for being such a beauty.
Yeah. Thank you.
And just impeccable at what you do, and just a ton of fun to be around. So,
Dude, let's have a hell of a weekend, dude.
Let's have a hell of a weekend. Appreciate you, man.
Absolutely. Thank you.